Okay, I did 2 other reviews for this game, and pretty much I just talked about the things I didn't like. So, I'm going to do a brief video and talk about the things I did like and a few minor suggestions I would have. And the first thing is that it has to do with the horses. I think the horses here are so much better than the old one. I mean, they were pretty on the old one, but they were all pretty much the same. And, for example, the Ardennais, the one they were calling an Ardennais, which was actually still gray, they were calling it a medium brown, and then it looked more like a thoroughbred than an Ardennais. So this one they did much better, made them look more like the real breeds. I do think the Arabian is slightly too small, but nonetheless, it's really, really pretty. And just so you know, I've been asked a couple of times on Facebook why I don't get the white Arabian for Arthur. It's because he's too big for it. For those of you who don't know, you should never weigh more than 20% of your horse's weight, and that does include your saddle. A horse carries 80% of its weight on its front legs. And if you, along with this, it can only carry a certain amount of weight on its back. So if you're more than 20% of the horse's weight, you've really got no business on that horse. You know, if your horse is 1,000 pounds, you shouldn't be more than 200. So that's just a quick little fact there. I'm not telling you shouldn't get the Arabian. You want to get it, be my guest. I won't try to stop you. Just my personal choice. It is pretty. Don't get me wrong. It's very beautiful. I like that you have to take care of the horse. You have to feed it and all. I like that they can and do talk to the horses, sometimes automatically, like when the horse gets scared, you'll hear either Arthur or John trying to soothe the horse. And then, of course, you can do so by pressing the button, depending on if you're on PlayStation or Xbox. I like how, instead of just whistling, he talks to the horse when it's close. Come on, over here, or whatever. You can pat the horse and groom the horse, all these things. You have to keep it clean. All that's really good. The only thing I don't like are these big bits. In reality, bits are nothing but pain devices. They were designed to control a horse with pain. But in the Wild West, they were indeed harder on horses than what they needed to be. They didn't know a lot of the things we know today. And to some extent, I forgive them for that because they just didn't know. But I do believe they could have learned more. Of course, the graphics are just stunning. I grew up with the with that Atari thing back in the 80s. I remember when it was all squares and blocks and stuff like that. If a character had long hair, it was like a plastic ponytail rather than, you know, rather than hair. And now me, since I like guys with long hair, I keep Arthur's hair long and John's hair long. I love long hair on a guy. I think it's real cool to watch their hair kind of blowing in the wind. Their clothes do that. Which brings me to my next point. I liked how we don't just buy an entire outfit. I mean, you can, but you can also buy separate shirts, vests, pants, boots, etc., and put together your own outfits. I really like that. I like that there's more reasons to really explore. You find things like weapons, hats, and other things. As far as online, I like how they made it this time so we can create our own character. I hated playing as these random characters on the other one, and there weren't that many for the women. And all of them had their hair tied up. I never tie my hair up. I like playing online games pretty much as myself because it lets me escape the pressures of reality for a little while and, you know, be someone cool like this. Like here we had online missions rather than just running around clearing out hideouts. Because, you know, it gets tedious after a while, but here we've got the story, which I'm hoping they'll add more to it later. Are we going to go after Grace Lansing? I like some of the characters I get to work for, like Black Belle. I love Black Belle. A friend of mine gave me Sadie Adler t-shirt, and she said, sorry, they didn't have a black bell, so maybe somebody will put out a black bell one later. And that kind of brings me to my next point. I like that the women have more of a role in it, because a lot of people don't seem to realize there were some female gunfighters, there were some female outlaws back then. I know there were not that many, so do not get in the comments and say, yeah, but there weren't that many. Stop typing. I get it. I didn't say there were 50 billion of them. But anyways, yeah, I just wish they had side saddles. I hate watching these women. It's like when Tilly rescues Jack. You can't ride at a gallop like that, people. If they want realism, she needs a side saddle. Which brings me to my next point. They should have side saddles, English saddles, Australian saddles. All these were real widely used by then, because, you know, Australians were coming over, bringing their saddles. The Brits were coming over, bringing their saddles. And a lot of them chose to stay with their saddles. They didn't really like our Western saddles. And there are other types of saddles. Some of you may like them. Mexican saddles, for example. Now, I've never ridden on one of these, but some people like them. I've ridden English, Western, and Australian, and only once have I tried side saddle, and I'll be honest, I didn't like it, but again, some people do. But the side saddle was designed actually by a married couple when the woman, you know, they couldn't ride faster than a walk without having extreme difficulty staying on. And then one day the wife, the horse spooked or something, kind of jumped to the side, and she ended up with some pretty significant injuries. So after she healed up, she and her husband designed the first side saddle. So really these women should be riding on those. I would like to see women driving wagons. You had a few on the old Red Dead, but here there's pretty much none. Women drove those things too, including the small wagons and buggies. I would like to see Rockstar stop making us park our vehicles in the middle of the road. This goes for all their games, Grand Theft Auto, this. Stop making me park my vehicle in the middle of the road. I mean, that should just be common sense. Another suggestion is, and this is, I've said this before, and I hate this about the whole entertainment industry. Nobody calls their friend by their last name, and parents don't run around calling their son the boy. That alone makes me hate Abigail. I think she's selfish. I mean, I cannot listen to her say the boy. When she starts saying that, I get out of the camp. You may have seen in my live streams, I antagonize Abigail a lot. I really don't like her at all. I think Rockstar did a horrible job with her. Another suggestion I have, I want some of these people to have daughters. And some of them have more than one child. The fact is, in those days, 4 children was about average for any family. Very few families had only one child. Some did. I'm not saying there were none. But I want to see some daughters too. And this isn't sexism. I am not a feminist. It's just normal. Not everybody just had sons. You know, Buffalo Bill Cody had no sons, only daughters. And this is another suggestion. I want this glitch fixed. For some reason, it says I've committed some kind of violent act, which I didn't. See that? It's saying disabled due to aggressive behavior. I'm just sitting here. I didn't do anything. This glitch really needs to be fixed. So, there's a few minor glitches I do want to see fixed besides this. I don't like, when I come back online, whatever outfit I had on, it's been resaved as a custom outfit. This is why I cannot have all 5 outfits in my saddlebag. You know, I don't have any choice but to only have 4. I would like to see that fixed. I would say we need, I would like to see some more colors for some of these breeds. And I would like to see the Rose Gray Arabian available online. I don't understand why it's not. And I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, the Ballinger saddle and the Martinville saddle, I would love for those on story mode. And some of the horses, like this one here, I would love to see in the story mode. I think this would be great for Arthur. I think he'd look great on this one. But I don't understand why this glitch keeps happening. Just sitting here and all of a sudden, pretty much all in all, those are my suggestions. I will say, I really don't like Rockstar blocking off parts of the map to us. I want that to stop. I mean, do towns even go on lockdown? I've never heard of it. Guess I'll have to research that. I usually research, but I think that's so dumb I haven't researched it. I would like to have the entire map available right from the start, just like it was on GTA 5. I don't like having to unlock parts of the map. And if it is a lockdown, the Pinkertons shouldn't just be asking Arthur what he's doing there. They should be asking everyone. There should be guards there asking every person, but for some reason Arthur stands out. I mean, I guess he's wearing a t-shirt that says Dutch's Boys or something. Which I don't think they had t-shirts back then, but I'm sure they could have thought of it. But all in all, I gave this game a 7.5, which is the lowest I've ever given a Rockstar. And if you see my previous reviews, you'll understand why. I hate the fact that it changes my saddles, it changes my guns, and the whole Guarma thing had no business here, if you ask me. I really hate the Guarma thing. And I was a big fan of Lost. And my final suggestion is, if Rockstar wants to make a Castaway game, they could likely make a very good one. As good as Lost, if not better. The Lost video game wasn't all that great. The TV show was awesome. I know a lot of people say they didn't understand it, but that's because you have to pay attention to every second of it. But anyways, I think Rockstar could do that instead of putting it on games like this. So I do enjoy the game. I'm looking forward to more updates in the future. I'm hoping to see more horses, both online and in the story, but especially in the story. I really want Arthur and John to have a unique horse that no one else has. Like, if you get the Black Standardbred, although it's a good horse and it's beautiful, a lot of Pinkertons would be riding that. And actually, there's one more thing that I would suggest. Randomize the other characters' horses. You notice that all throughout the game, every side character has that little brown horse. It's not a flaxen chestnut, by the way, but whatever. But they all had that little brown horse. Every one of them. And it just didn't make sense. On the old Red Dead, for example, when you're defending the train from the rebels, all these rebels are coming on different horses. That really needs to keep on. I hated seeing them all on the same horse. And if your horse is far away, it would have that brown horse there for you to use. Like when you try to get Mary's brooch back from the fence, I guess is what he was. Again, that ugly little brown horse. And I think they do that on purpose to make it harder for you. So I'll ride that horse just until my horse catches up. Then I jump on my horse and continue chasing the wagon. But I am looking forward to GTA 6. Hopefully Red Dead 3 will at least consider a few of these suggestions. I doubt if they will, and I doubt if they'll even see this. But I do enjoy the game. It is a lot of fun, and these horses are just absolutely amazing. And it's so cute when they shake themselves off like that. I do think they need to learn a little more about horses. On the scale of 1 through 10, I gave the horses an 8. The skating around rocks is one of the things I didn't like. Horses don't do that, and horses are not afraid of water. But here they have these horses in a mad dash to get out of the water like it's lava. The Arabian breed is a little suspicious of water just by nature of the breed, but they're not terrified of it. They are cautious of deep water because they can't see if there's predators in the water. And horses do not buck you off if they're scared of an animal. They're going to run and take you with them. I've had lots of horses bolt with me. So, those are my few suggestions. Along with the saddles, I would love to have bows or bridles. These are bridles without a bit. I hate bits. These things are pain devices. And I know in the Wild West they were much, much harder on horses than what they needed to be, because they didn't know a lot of the things we know today. They didn't understand push and release. I do know they knew those bits were painful, though. That's the whole point of the bit. In fact, the Roman soldiers used a really harsh bit that would make ours look very, very tame. So, just at least they weren't Romans. So, so finally, like I said before, it is a great game, but it could be just a little better. And like I said, the 7.5 is the lowest I've ever given a Rockstar. Most of them, I've given it at least an 8.5 or higher. A lot of them 9s and 10s, actually. But this one, I think they got in a little bit of a hurry, because they knew we were waiting for this game. But it's better to be slow and have it right than in a hurry and have it wrong. So, and again, I'm not going to tell you, like, not to get the Arabian. You want to get it, go ahead. But I personally like going through on the big horses, because the bounty hunting and, you know, carrying passengers and such. That's probably one problem with people like me who know about horses playing games like this. But all told, I do enjoy it. I know I complained in my first two videos, which some of it was very frustrating. And the last name thing, I just hate about the whole entertainment industry. Lately, I know I'm not going to bring in politics. I'm just saying, a lot of conservatives and even some liberals are complaining about how celebrities are getting into the political spectrum. And they say that the celebrities are not in tune with real life. You know, Hollywood is not in tune with real life because of politics. I think they're not in tune with real life because of this last name stuff. I wonder if anyone in Hollywood has any friends. I really do. Because these script writers think we run around calling our friends by their last name, and I just can't stand that. That's the biggest suggestion I have, is to stop that. Everything, movies, TV, everything. I have walked out on movies for this, and I've quit watching TV shows for this. I will quit playing Rockstar, which they never really did that much before this. I don't know what happened this time. But I'm tired of this last name stuff. That's my #1 complaint about the whole entertainment industry. I don't care about realism with, like, people talk about the movies don't understand suppressors, aka silencers. I don't care about that. But if you want realism, you do not have people calling their friends by their last name. It would be more realistic for this to be a unicorn, if you ask me. I really strongly doubt if anyone's calling their friend by their last name. So, long story short, the last name thing, it will keep me from playing future games if they keep this up. And not just from Rockstar, but from any company. Although Rockstar does make the best games. They really do. So, this is something I want to see changed.